Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A former mayor is facing 3 counts of murder in Centerville. Jay Ostrom also served on the city council and has a background in law enforcement.
A family member says after she told Ostrom she had been sexually assaulted by a neighbor, he, quote, got up and went raging out of the house. In a 911 call, a man said his family member had been shot and killed and later said he was also shot before he stopped talking to the dispatcher.
Ostrom is being held in the Minnehaha County Jail on a $1 million cash-only bond.
A 17-year-old Sioux Falls boy is in jail accused of causing a crash that killed 2 of his friends in late April. 17-year-old Damian Laurelez is charged with first and second-degree manslaughter as well as vehicular homicide. Police estimate he was going more than 70 miles an hour in the residential neighborhood. They used surveillance video to calculate the speed. Police also say the Dodge Durango Laurelez was driving was so badly damaged it yielded very little information for investigators.
That vehicle inspection is a key component, and they're able to rule out if there were issues with mechanical issues. You think about braking or acceleration or something like that. But in this case, the damage was so extensive that they were not able to do that.
Police say Laurelez had alcohol and drugs in his system. Detectives arrested him last Thursday. His bond is set at $50,000.
A woman in Clay County, Iowa was arrested this week after an incident with law enforcement. The Spencer Police Department received a disturbance call in the 800 block of East 7th Street from a woman saying that there was an unknown female banging on the door to her home. When police arrived, they found 34-year-old Tristan Burr standing on the front porch armed with pepper spray and a sword. Authorities say that Burr approached the officer swinging the sword and refused to cooperate with police demands, at which point the officers deployed a taser, which allowed them to bring her into custody. Upon investigation, it was determined Burr actually made the initial call to 911 with intent to confront the police. Burr was treated on scene by Spencer Ambulance and transported to the Clay County Jail on a charge of interference of official acts with a weapon, a Class D felony. Now let's check in with meteorologist Scott Munn. Should be a pretty nice start to the day, Scott.
Oh, we are looking at sunshine for this morning. We'll have an increase in cloud cover later this afternoon and evening in western South Dakota, and that will eventually lead to developing thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening in western KELOLAND, where Rapid City will have a high of 80, 82 in Pierce, 77 in Huron and Mitchell. We'll go mostly sunny in eastern KELOLAND, 73 Sioux Falls, 75 in Aberdeen. Need to mention the wind too. That will continue to increase as we go through this morning. Western and central South Dakota will have average wind speeds of 20 to 40 miles per hour. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Sports fans in KELOLAND are mourning the death of Bill Walton, including a Sioux Falls man who spent a lot of time with the basketball legend. Jim Clark accompanied Walton during his visit to the Legends for Kids sports clinics back in 2019. Walton spent 3 days in Sioux Falls, and Clark says he was surprised by how approachable Walton was.
He had a big personality, and he was always outgoing, ready to talk to anybody. And he was real curious about them. It wasn't about them kissing up to him or anything. He wanted to know about them.
Clark says he was surprised to learn of Walton's death because he was unaware that Walton had been struggling with cancer.
After a 30-year wait, lions are finally back at the Great Plains Zoo. 2 new lions recently arrived at the zoo, a male named Simba and a female named Amelie. Staff hope the lions will create an experience that zoogoers won't forget.
Right now, in order to see a lion, you have to go to Omaha. So we really hope that people want to come to the zoo and see these lions and really get a good appreciation for these charismatic animals and really want to take them in and love them and want to help save them.
The ribbon cutting ceremony for the lion enclosure is set for June 28th.
Rapid City Youth and Family Services kicked off its summer meal program yesterday. All family members can receive a free lunch thanks to the help of Black Hills Area Community Foundation and Meals on Wheels. The program aims to provide well-balanced meals for families as well as enhancement activities for the kids after they are done eating.
Really provide a lot of healthy food choices for the families. We try to do as much fresh produce as we can. Like every Thursday, we're providing watermelon.
The summer food program runs Monday through Friday, excluding holidays. And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather update today. We're watching western South Dakota, Black Hills in particular, and on up into the Buffalo area. Showers and storms will be increasing here late this afternoon into the early evening. Main risk being some large hail, possibly some damaging wind gusts with those stronger storms. So we'll continue to watch that. The outlook, though, in eastern South Dakota remains fine. We've got a blue sky. We've got a great start to the morning. Sioux Falls area, it's going to be a beautiful day today. We're going to be well up into the low 70s for highs. Now let's take a look at Futurecast, and this is where we go next. We're going to see those winds increasing the most in central and western South Dakota, 20 to 40 miles per hour, very likely. Also, we'll see warmer weather in western KELOLAND. A few 80s will pop up this afternoon. Here come those thunderstorms. You can see by 4 and 5 o'clock, they are entering the picture here. 7 p.m. this evening, very likely we'll have some thunderstorms on radar in this general area from Buffalo down to Pine Ridge. And then the line kind of breaks up a little bit here. Overnight tonight, there could be some cells in the north central. I'm inclined to keep Sioux Falls dry until tomorrow morning, and then we'll just see if we start sparking some morning showers and thunderstorms, and then probabilities go up in the afternoon. And by 4 p.m., there's certainly more activity shown there along and attendant to that cold front. Now, that frontal system really is going to have trouble moving out of the picture. We expect that this is going to be the same front that's going to really be the responsible piece here behind a lot of the rain chances in the 7-day forecast. You can see the progression of this. So there's your first batch of rain tonight. You can see how it kind of marches up into North Dakota. And then the secondary area develops during the day part forecast tomorrow, north central Nebraska on up in eastern South Dakota. There could be a little severe weather with this, but it's not an organized severe weather outbreak. It's just basically more rain, and for some of you, it's more wet ground in northwest Iowa, southwest Minnesota, where it's been so wet as of late. Now, notice this map here. By Friday, we see some of the rain chances headed into Iowa, Minnesota, but we're not entirely done because the frontal system is basically stalled here. And in fact, on Saturday, it might regroup here and bring in some additional scattered rain. It's at least a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. And by Sunday, we open this thing up again. Southerly winds, transporting heat and humidity. And sure, we could develop more clusters of storms here in the upper Midwest. So just keep watching the details. They'll be coming out the next few days. We have our 7-day, lots of 30 and 40% chances of rain. There are more 80s next week. And of course, that corresponds to the increase in humidity. We'll see how far north those parameters go for Aberdeen into next week. But right now, we've got a good chance of rain tomorrow. And then another shot coming in Sunday, especially Sunday or Monday. I would watch that time frame in particular. Here in central South Dakota, after the 80s today, we drop it to the low 70s tomorrow, back to the 80s early next week, and we could see a couple days in there by maybe a week out or so. Could be in the near 90 levels in central South Dakota. Even Rapid City will see warmer weather returning by the weekend. Find out the latest details online at KELOLAND.com.